of Green Gables. If you listen closely to the wind blowing through the spruce trees of Prince Edward Island, you might hear a whisper of something restless, something bright, fiery, and impossible to silence. Our story begins not with a girl, but with a mistake. In the quiet, sleepy village of Avonlea, where everyone knows everyone's business, an elderly brother and sister, Matthew and Marilla Cuthbert, make a practical decision. They are getting old. The farm, Green Gables, is too much work for Matthew's aging back. So they decide to adopt a boy from an orphanage in Nova Scotia, a sturdy, sensible boy of 11 to help with the plowing. But fate, it seems, has a sense of humor. When shy, silent Matthew arrives at the train station to pick up this sensible boy, he finds no one but a skinny, pale girl sitting on a pile of shingles. She has huge, gray-green eyes full of spirit, a carpetbag in her hand, and 2 thick braids of hair as red as a carrot. This is not a boy, this is Anne, spelled with an E because A-N-N looks so dreadful, but A-N-N-E looks so much more distinguished. Matthew is terrified of women, but within a 5-mile buggy ride, this little chatterbox wraps him around her finger. She renames the cherry trees the Snow Queen, and the pond, the Lake of Shining Waters. By the time they reach the house, Matthew is in love. But Marilla is a woman of granite and hard rules, and Marilla is not amused. Part 1. The Depths of Despair. The moment Anne enters Green Gables, the world changes. The house, usually silent and spotless, is suddenly filled with the whirlwind of Anne's scope for imagination. Marilla is horrified. "What good is she to us?" she asks. "We need a boy." Anne, realizing she is unwanted, bursts into tears, the first of many dramatic performances. She declares she is in the depths of despair. She tells Marilla, "Can you eat when you are in the depths of despair? I've never been in the depths of despair, so I don't know." Marilla, despite her sternness, feels a twinge of pity. She decides to keep the girl for a trial period, but the trial is rocky. The neighborhood gossip, Mrs. Rachel Lynde, comes to visit. She takes one look at Anne and says, "Lawful heart, her hair is as red as carrots, and she's as thin as a rail." Anne does not sit quietly. She flies into a rage, stomping her foot at the older woman. "I hate you!" she screams. "How would you like it if I told you that you are fat and clumsy and probably haven't a spark of imagination in you?" Marilla is shocked. Anne is ordered to apologize, and she does, but in true Anne fashion. She turns the apology into a theatrical performance, sounding so tragic and sincere that Mrs. Lynde ends up comforting her. Marilla sighs. She realizes she has her work cut out for her. She decides to raise this child properly, to curb her vanity and temper. But there is one question hanging in the air. Why should they keep her? It is shy Matthew who answers, late one night. "We might be some good to her," he says softly. Part 2. Bosom Friends and Broken Slates. Anne's greatest wish is to find a kindred spirit. She finds it in Diana Barry, a pretty dark-haired girl who lives across the field. They swear an oath of eternal friendship in the garden, promising to be bosom friends until the sun and moon collide. But Anne's life is a series of well-intentioned disasters. One afternoon, she invites Diana to tea while the adults are away. Anne serves what she thinks is raspberry cordial. Diana loves it. She drinks 3 big tumblers of it. But soon Diana feels dizzy. She stumbles home, sick. It turns out Anne had accidentally served her currant wine. Diana was drunk. Mrs. Barry is furious and forbids Diana from ever speaking to that wicked Anne Shirley again. Anne is crushed. She has lost her bosom friend, but redemption comes in the winter. Diana's little sister falls ill with croup while the parents are away. Anne, who raised many children in her previous foster homes, takes charge. She saves the baby's life with cool-headed skill. Mrs. Barry forgives her, and the friendship is restored. However, there is one person Anne will not forgive, Gilbert Blythe. He is the handsome, popular boy at school. One day, trying to get Anne's attention, he pulls her red braid and whispers, "Carrots." It was the wrong move. Anne, blinded by fury, smashes her heavy writing slate over his head, cracking the slate in two. She refuses to speak to him for years, even as they become the top 2 students in the school, battling for every grade and every honor. She treats him with icy silence. It is a rivalry that defines her school years. Part 3. The Bend in the Road. As the years pass, the scrappy, awkward orphan blooms. The red hair darkens to a handsome auburn. The temper cools, replaced by a vibrant intelligence. Anne and Gilbert both study hard to get into Queen's Academy, the college for teachers. They tie for the highest honors. At the academy, they are the stars. Anne wins the prestigious Avery Scholarship, which gives her enough money to go to a university and earn a full degree, her dream come true. She returns to Green Gables for the summer, triumphant. She has a future. She has brilliance. But life, as Anne observes, has a way of giving us a bend in the road just when we think we see the path ahead. One afternoon, Matthew reads the newspaper. His face turns gray. The bank where he kept all his life savings has failed. The shock is too much for his gentle heart. He collapses on the threshold of Green Gables and dies. The grief at Green Gables is silent and terrible. For Anne, Matthew was the first person to ever love her unconditionally. For Marilla, he was her whole world. In the weeks following the funeral, Marilla's eyes begin to fail. The doctor tells her she will go blind if she continues to strain them. She cannot run the farm alone. She tells Anne, weeping, that she will have to sell Green Gables. Anne looks at the home she loves. She looks at the woman who, though strict, has become a mother to her. And Anne makes a choice. She turns down the scholarship. She will not go to university. She will stay. She will teach at the local school and help Marilla save the farm. It is a sacrifice of her biggest dream, but she makes it cheerfully. The resolution. There is one final knot to untie. Gilbert Blythe, hearing of Anne's situation, withdraws his application for the Avonlea school teaching job so that Anne can have it, allowing her to stay close to home. He takes a job at a school much further away, walking miles every day so Anne can be with Marilla. Walking home one evening, Anne sees Gilbert. The anger of the carrots incident has long faded, replaced now by gratitude. She stops him. She holds out her hand. "I want to thank you, Gilbert," she says. They shake hands. The slate is finally wiped clean. They stand at the gate, talking for half an hour, the years of silence replaced by the easy conversation of equals. Gilbert walks her home, and for the first time, Anne realizes that perhaps her old enemy might turn out to be her dearest friend. That night, Anne sits at her window. The future is not the wide, open highway she had planned. It is a narrow path now, but she knows that flowers will bloom on this path too. She whispers to the stars, "God's in his heaven, all's right with the world." The skinny girl with the carpetbag has found her home, and in doing so, she has saved the hearts of those who took her in.